It's a Redback Spider and Wasp Roundup, and this time around the Redbacks are presenting themselves in a very different way. It seems they've decided to parachute from the sky and are doing an aerial assault on me. We were told in spring to prepare for one of the worst, hottest, driest, most dangerous fire summers on record. But what's eventuated in Sydney has been a very muggy, humid and extremely wet summer. In fact, it's the fourth very wet summer we've had in a row, and maybe this explains why the Redback Spiders are searching for higher grounds. It's been an unusual summer for multiple reasons, especially when there's something totally missing from the equation. And before we get too silly and serious, I better put up that warning. The warning has been removed, and this is an educational video, and I have no commercial connections to any product that you see in this video, and you have to believe me on this. It's fantastic being totally ignored by all the wonderful companies in the world. I love it. Okay, let's do it. I just noticed something up on the roof here. It's a really hot day, and well, I can see a paper wasp nest there. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Don't like those wasps. And I can see a redback spider up on the roof. I'm just up on the ladder now, and I'm being a bit careful because if these wasps know I'm close to their nest, they will go for you and they just keep stinging you. I've been stung by these paper wasps. I'll tell you what, it's very, very painful. I'm just keeping very still. There's a wasp just appeared at the nest there. I'll zoom in. Okay, they're talking to each other, doing what wasps do. They don't know there's a redback spider basically next door. Mind you, I don't think these wasps are wasps that go for redbacks. I'm going to have to deal with these wasps and the redback. There's a closer look at the redback spider. It's a very hot day. That tin above the redback would be extremely hot. Looks like she's got web going on there. Man, I've never seen them up this high. This is actually the realm of the black house spider, which is the mortal enemy of redbacks from what I understand. It's just so strange to see the redback up on the roof. I've pulled out my redback spider control chart. It's summertime at the moment. In Australia, it is the 11th of January, so if I put my tweezers in there, this time of year, it's right in the middle of peak spider season, but I'm also dealing with paper wasps as well. What fun. The very rogue part of me is thinking one blow up of a flamethrower could take out both problems there, but I could set fire to the house and then I'd be infamous on YouTube, wouldn't I? I think I'll deal with the paper wasp nest first. I'm in the back bathroom. The sound's going to be a little bit wonky. The go-to product for me for the wasp problem is going to be, tricked you there, didn't I? Blitzem Wasp Killer and Nest Destroyer. I've got no commercial connection to this product. I've used it before. I think it's frippin' awesome. Look at that there, one dead wasp. I'm back outside now. Very important to read the constructions on how to use this product. Give it a good shake. And what I like to do is have a test spray, so you get used to the way this product sprays. See those Dysons I picked up off the rubbish pile recently? I'll aim for that orange part. I'll see if I can get it. Okay, I've got used to the spray. With the iPhone in one hand and the spray in the other, hopefully I'll be able to pull this off in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, they've dropped to the ground. Hopefully they've carked it. Let's look at that in slow motion. I'm going to slow it right up and take a look at how that spray is affecting the wasp nest and those wasps. I'm going to deal with the redback spider next because it got agitated by me taking out the wasps. The spray, Mrs. Redback, I've got something fairly unconventional here. Hopefully it's going to work for me. The redback's a little bit aware. I got disturbed by the wasp spray, but it's come back out. I'm going to spray her in 3, 2, 1. hopefully she will drop to the ground and not crawl back up into the roof area. I'll give her a bit more, where's she gonna drop? A bit more spray. Down, down, down. Oh my God, something else is coming out. Oh, I hate Australia. Well, down on the step, but that's just collateral damage. That's very unfortunate. There's that spider there. I've got no idea what it is. I'm sure the audience will identify it. It came running out when the spray hit the area. I'll just get it up onto a upper level. Up here somewhere. There's Mrs. Redback there on the grey tile. As I said, she's not a very big one. She's only a youngster. She's still got a bit of white going across the back of her there. I'll just put her next to the other spider so you can get a bit of a scale of one versus the other. Okay, they're twitching and doing weird stuff because they have been sprayed. I don't want these spiders around, especially the redback, up on the roof area. It's very, very weird to have one up so high. There's a part of me thinking this may be a white-tailed spider, but I'll let the spider experts say, because if I'm wrong, man, they'll be screaming at me. But the other spider is definitely, it's just an immature female redback spider. Yeah, so she was definitely something from this season. After a bit of a break then, because my crapple iPhone just had a heat stress moment, it's one of those sort of days, I'm just going to get the wasp baroonies and the wasp nest to put them with the spider baroonies, if that makes any sense. If I just stay in that sunny bed, it's going to make a lot less hassle for the phone, isn't it? I'm just going to bring the wasp nest over so you can get a scale of things, eh? Okay, typical day in Australia, pest control around your house. And as I've often said, Australia is not for everyone. Well, the wasp has turned up looking for the nest. I've got just the ordinary spray here. Try and get rid of it. Bloody thing, if it gets me in its sights, it's okay, it's just flown away over there. Good night, sister wasp, go away. You're probably having trouble getting a sense of scale there, but maybe if I add one thing, it's going to reveal the size of all that. It's something we all know the size of. I've carefully covered the brand name, so I'm not doing ads for people. There you go. Hopefully that will give you a great sense of scale of what's being taken out around my home. I just had to have another iPhone break. The thing's in meltdown again. That's the Paper Wasp nest. I don't think we need to talk too much about that. All I know is these Paper Wasps, man, when they sting, they give you multiple stings. It really hurts hard. Hope we've been educational. There's something at the front of my house I've got to show you next. It's been an unusual summer. It has become a wet summer. You can tell that by looking at the grass, and I'm going to take a look at the Redback Spider lure right there, right in the middle of the screen. I walk past the spider lure every day, and it was only earlier in the week I did a stink bug control video. Let's just call it that. I did say in that video the Redback Spider lures showed no redback spiders, but it was only yesterday I noticed some very interesting web going on here, and if I just tickle it there, maybe you'll see things moving in the tweezies there. The web goes right out here, it extends right out to here, and there's also very, very fine web that extends all the way over here. Yes, I think we've got Mrs. Redback living inside the lure here. Let's take a look. So yes, yesterday was the 10th. Man, the sun is cooking me today. Today's the 11th of January 2024, and we'll just very carefully and slowly open this up, because we just never know who's going to be having a peeky hole at us. Okay, well, there's nothing there. Oh my goodness me. Okay, there she is down there. Isn't she a frippin' stunner? Looking down inside the spider lure without saying trap, notice there's no egg sac, so this is a new established spider. But how did this redback spider get in here? Then again, how did that redback spider get up on the roof? I'll give her a tickle and tease with a tweezy to make her move. And this lure is the famous one. I think Barbie the redback spider came from here, and a lot of egg sacs. So I've got the tweezy going in. Let's see how alert she is. She'll probably want to attack the tweezy to do some back leg action. I love seeing back leg action from these girls. Okay, let's see what she thinks of the tweezies. She's going to kiss them first. She doesn't know what to make of them. She doesn't quite know me that well yet, does she? Come on. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go, she's a performer. Yeah, she's a keeper. She is a definite keeper. I try not to laugh. Oh dear, sometimes I've got to laugh. Okay, look at her go. Yeah, she is a stunner, isn't she? Hey, I'll just get the tweeted out, hopefully without her coming out with them. Uh-oh, I think she likes me a lot. She's coming out with them. Back down you go, girly. I really don't want you in my lap quite yet. Well, there's another nasty joke that's not going to get past the YouTube bots, is it? Come on, off there. Good girl. Good girl. She's in there. I'm going to live and let live with her. She's a stunner. She's quite mature. And if she develops an egg, I certainly know how to grab the eggs out of here, and I can stop her from developing an army of redback spiders. And really, the lures are all about that. I can keep control of the spiders once they're in here and keep an eye on what they're up to. I just don't understand how these spiders just appear seemingly from nowhere. Do they parachute in? And I'm a little bit curious about the spider lure next door. There's one here. There is a bit of web around it. Then again, there's lots of web around here because of that female. Let's have a careful look in here. Always been careful to start with and take a look. Okay, this is interesting. I think there's a redback in here. I'm going to voice over this part because I needed to take a closer look at this very small redback spider. I would classify it as a spiderling, and I took stills. That's with my iPhone, so I can't talk on the iPhone and take stills at the same time. And I do believe we're dealing with a very immature female redback spider. I'm saying that because of the shape of the rear of the spider, and also I can just start to see the red mark that is going to be on her back. It can be very tricky to determine the boys from the girls when the spiderlings are this size. But in fighting this small redback spider in the smaller lure is very interesting, I feel, and it's showing that the lures are doing their job. That is, luring redback spiders to be in the perfect home where I can keep an eye on them. I'll let this immature redback spider live, and I'm banking on the fact that she will remain in this home as she's growing. Before I close up the spider lure, I'll just point out something about this area, and it just stinks because Bubble and Fluffy, well, you can see a bit of it here. This is their zone. Okay, without saying certain words, you can see they do lots of diggings over here, so there's lots of activity from the cats. I can also see the sort of thing the cats do here. So I just hope Mrs. Redback doesn't take a fancy to one of my cats and the sun's about to pop out on me and make me very hot and grumpy again. Then it on nice and gently. Yeah, she's definitely a keeper, and I will be certainly keeping an eye on her. Just before I leave here, I've written on the top here, the 10th of January, that's B2, for Barbie 2. Well, there's baby Maggie there. Don't be scared, little Maggie, you're okay. I'm not going to touch her. Take a look how lush the grass is. Remember, this is the middle of summer. Also, just for a moment, I'll be quiet, just listen around, see what you can't hear. Have you worked it out? Apart from the plain noise? It's a frippin' hot day. Middle of summer. I'll let you tell me what is missing in that equation. Okay, well, this is the tree here, the old lemon tree that I did a stink bug control video. It was only earlier in the week. And what is sort of curious about it now, holding my Blitzem wasp control stuff, is you can see where I did some flamethrower action. Maybe we can relive a bit of that at the moment. Yes, it's the way to get rid of stink bugs, and here was that giant clump of stink bugs, and you can see the dying back that happens after the flamethrower. But there's one thing I want to show you about this tree, which I think is miraculous, because I did spray it with that water, white vinegar and detergent mix, and I'm going to shake the tree up. I've got a nice long stick here, and if there are stink bugs here, they go flying, because one of their first defensive measures is they will take off in flight, and they frip and spray their sprits everywhere. This tree is clean of stink bugs, and I can go to the tree next door. Mind you, this tree had no stink bugs the other day. It's amazing. It's quite miraculous. A very, very cheap mix is very effective against adult stink bugs. That was one thing I had to prove in that video. And if I come down here, I'm going to show you all the trees here. Remember, we're looking for stink bugs taking off in fright and flight, which is what they do. They like to congregate up that upper part of the trees. But I notice they like to be, this is the sunny side, this is the western side. They like to be on the western side of the tree. It's one thing I've noticed. They tend to congregate on the warmer side of a tree. Nothing falling from here. I did some more flamethrower work here, and this is where Mummy gets cranky. So you can see the dieback that happens when the flamethrower hits. And I'm looking for stink bugs flying out of here. It's quite miraculous, isn't it? There's no tricks of photography here. I wish I was a magician like that. I could make a lot of money. I'm just showing you no stinkies, and that I think is quite miraculous, because the spray I make up is very inexpensive and it's very, very effective. I'm just going nice and wide. You can see how nice and lush it is, but I'll be quiet again if you haven't worked out what's not here. Yes, it's more unusual when they're not here versus when they're here in the middle of summer. That's all I'll say. This is the next morning. I'm about to feed the cats. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I flipping can't believe what I just found. If I come up here, and if I go above a fridge we have on the back deck of our house, my God, there's a frippin' redback spider set up there, right where I feed the frippin' cats. Well, I've got to say, this is the first time I've seen anything like this. It's right in the area where I set up the food for the cats in the morning. You can see the messy webby network is going out in a pyramid shape underneath where the spider would be setting up in the middle there. The spider's a bit on the move. It's a bit aware that I'm here. Of course, I've put a light on her. And when I looked around here, I noticed there's web actually going up to the roof. It's a metal roof here. It's been very, very hot. So it seems we've got redback spiders in the roof now. Isn't that fantastic? Just to give you a scope of where this redback would live during the day, and this is the part that, well, semi-mind blows me. I don't like these things when they're aerial, past the cat food. There's actually very fine web going through that area there, but you'll see it more when we get past the cat carrier. And then we'll see what looks like puppet strings coming from the cat carrier. If I move the camera like that, you'll see them. She's been very web active, and if I go further up, hopefully following the strings there, that's the web that she's dropped. And it goes right up to the hot metal ceiling, so she'd be living up in that area there, like that spider from frippin' yesterday. This part of the house up on the ceiling, to me, is very much the domain of the black house spider. And if I come around here, and if I zoom in on that there, look, there's a lovely black house spider there. I always thought they were the mortal enemy of the redback spider. No, Bubble, no, she's up and she's looking for food. Now, the very, very common thing she does, would be to jump up here. And she jumped up here this morning. Look who's there to greet her. Bubble, inside for a moment until I deal with that spider. Thank you, girl. Good girl. I'm going to use this spray here. It's the same one I used yesterday. It was seemed to be fairly effective yesterday. Let's hope it's as effective right now. I'll take away the cat bowl here without disturbing Mrs. Redback, I hope. Okay, she's still there. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens to Mrs. Redback now. Oh, she's dropped. What a shame, and she's dancing. That has been very effective. It's a very, very cheap spray, and the redback has been affected immediately, just dropped straight down. And it's good night, sister. Unfortunate, but hey, who wants to be feeding cats and getting bitten by redbacks? I don't. It's just starting to rain, so this is the last I'm going to say here. That redback, it's not fully sized. It's nearly fully grown. Hopefully no egg sacs up on the roof area, but obviously I've got a redback spider up on the roof. That's pretty obvious to me now. Let's check up on B2. It's the 12th today. I've just dealt with the redback at the cat food. How's my little girl going out here? Check the lid first. Okay, she's still there. As I've always said, she's a keeper. My goodness me, look who has just turned up. She loves to be scratched under here. Oh, look at that. She loves to be in the cool grass because it has been very hot. I'd hate to be wearing this coat today. This is Bubble. This is Teddy's sister. One of Little Cat's offspring, to go back another generation in a sense. You going to stay with me, Bubble? The sun's coming back out. Or are you going to wander away? Okay, she's gone. Hey, wouldn't it be nice if these people here, let's just talk nice and closely here. Wouldn't it be nice for them to send a box of this stuff out to me? I've always spoken highly of this product. Always. I've shown it in its best light. I love this product, but it's a little bit expensive. But then again, it works very well. But hey, Blitzem, Wasp Killer and Nest Destroyer people, can you please send me out a box? I'd love to have a box from you, please. This is the long grass I keep for the cats. I know there's Fluffy and Bubble both love to lay in the long grass on the hot days. And the last, Bubble, what's the chances of Blitzem, Wasp, Nest Killer, blah, blah, sending me out a box of stuff, hey? You reckon they will? Because Bubble sort of knows what the future holds. Do you think they'll send me out something? Or they'll give me Fat Zero? What do you think, Bubble? Whisper it to me, Bubble. I'll just listen. Damn it. She said I'll get Fat Zero. Come on, Bubble, you got to be more positive than that. Come on.